Get Warrior Tough, Mental Training 101 with Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman. And now back to Andrew and Dutch.
All right, the sun's out. The guns are out. Andrew and Dutch back in the saddle. All right.
This is my mood right now, so I put the sunglasses on.
It's just
this is my mood right now with all the sun that's been happening.
You know what, Dutch? You're so good looking, and you got Magic Mike abs. It is just not fair.
I tell you what's not fair is that I'm happy about these 80-degree days, and you guys are getting them every day. These are the last time we're gonna see the sun until probably June.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hibernate. Also not fair. On our end though, but I like it. So, and now here's the thing: as an elite warrior, Dutch, that you and I we talk about this all the time. I like it, and I tell my kids this when they say it's not fair. So I'm like, you like it when life's not fair. I like it when life's not fair. I just want to be on the right side of it, but I'm not trying to get fairness, man.
Absolutely. We know the beauty of fairness is, and the knowledge of it is, it's not fair. So you can begin to plan around that fact. Like when the scary part is when you live in a world that you don't know that everything's not fair.
Right.
So you're going down these roads thinking everything's going to work out, and at every turn things are falling and crashing and burning. You're like, oh my God, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. Meanwhile, me knowing nothing was fair has planned as such. So I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I'm not derailed at anything that comes towards me because all my plans have the life's not fair factored into it. So I can be successful no matter what the outcome is.
Right. So you're not going scorched earth. If I can't have it, nobody is.
Absolutely.
Oh, so right. And this is so right on, man, because it's not fair. And so, okay, that's great. How can I use that to my advantage? It's not fair, right? I want to be on the side of, I'll say it like this, Dutch. You ever been to Disney?
Yes.
Yeah, that Fast Pass, man.
Yeah.
When you don't have the Fast Pass, you're like the monkey with the cucumber. Okay, when you don't have but when you have the Fast Pass and you fly past that entire line and you get to the front, you're like, "What up?" You are not giving the Fast Pass up to anybody in that other line, are you?
No, you're not.
No, I love Fast Pass. Is there anybody that does not love having Fast Pass? I never met them. No. So stop with the BS delusional, it's not fair nonsense. The only time that you cry it's not fair is when you're on the short end of the stick or you want to be seen as a saint, not a ruthless competitor.
Yes, when you haven't figured out how to be on the right side, then you're upset. When you need to be spending time trying to figure out how to be on the right side of the outcome because you know this is what's happening. Now, with me, I figure out the best place on either outcome, on either side of either outcome. So I go, okay, if I know that A is going to happen or B is going to happen, I find the right place to exist within A, and I find the right place to exist within B. So I don't even have to wait and see which A or B happens before I concoct a plan of success. I'm already ahead of the game because I know what the possibilities are. I know it's not fair, and I'm sitting there waiting for unfair to happen so I can exist in the environment that I created. And that's where you need to be. You need, and that's more about the knowledge and understanding of systems, not the controlling of systems.
There you go.
Not the directing of systems, but the knowledge and understanding of systems is what's going to make you successful.
And people be like, "Oh, he's gaming the system." Like that's a bad thing.
Absolutely. You know what? The system's gaming you. So you better game. Game the system back.
So what you just said right now, let's just take it over to the NFL, which I've long said is not fair. It's totally wrestling now. With the calls and what's a catch and what's not a catch and all that stuff. Right? It's not fair. But what you just said about either A or B, no matter what happens, whatever the outcomes are, I've got a plan and I'm already 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps ahead. That reminds me of this guy who is not fair and a complete cheater, according to many, many people. His name's Bill Belichick. He's the head coach of the Patriots. Now, when we were talking about this in the show prep, I'm like, that was Belichick, man. What he did is he put out all this propaganda to make it look like Tom Brady was awful so no one would draft him, and that way he could get him at super cheap discount price at $199 in the draft. He was like the last kid to get a pick for kickball. Only 200 people were getting picked. He must have he's such he's like, so he put out all this stuff, and then he got like the best guy. It's totally not fair that he's 2 steps ahead of everybody. It's just not fair.
And I related to another situation. Everyone that knows me I despise the Cowboys. That whole franchise, the city, everything. Yeah, hey man, I'm a Skins fan, Washington born and bred. But if you look at their new quarterback, Dak Prescott, right? If I'm not mistaken, drafted in the 4th round. Now, that means 3-4 rounds of teams at least got a shot at Dak Prescott, right?
Yeah.
And there multiple teams needed quarterbacks, and they selected different guys. The Cowboys end up with the best one in the bunch, right? There are people that still don't like the system of the NFL draft. They still don't like because what happens is
it ain't
the
fair.
best, right? Because the best team, hey man, you're penalizing me because I'm the best team. We're trying to make it fair, but you're penalizing me because I'm the best team that I got to pick 30th in the round, the first round, right? Because I won a Super Bowl. I have to pick last in order in the idea of fairness to get the worst team a better player, right? But when you get deeper and deeper into the draft, you still have people complaining about what's going on in the draft, even though there's been 3-4 cycles for a Dak Prescott, and now you're complaining when the truth is you didn't do your homework, you didn't evaluate correctly, and you don't want to look at yourself as the problem.
Now I got to say this. Listen, man. My background. I've been behind the curtain politically, so I'm just going to hit this election head on. Okay, so here's the thing. I know Hillary Clinton personally, right? Because I protected her during the anthrax crisis. There is nobody that knows the system. She's like the Bill Belichick of politics, right? Why are you mad at her? Because she knows the system and did her homework, right? Now, you could say, I hate the system and all that stuff, but that is the system. It's people complaining about, well, we don't have 2 good candidates to choose from, the parties. Well, that's the system. Each party has a system. If you did your homework, you could get in there. Because here, I checked the Constitution on this, Dutch. If you're 35 years old and you're natural born and you lived here for the last 14 years, you could be on the ballot. Mm-hmm. But you still have to go through that unfair system, whatever system it is. It doesn't matter. Any system on planet Earth, and you already know this because your mom already told you when you were a kid that life's not what, Dutch? Fair. So, go ahead.
To go down another path and stick with the candidates is Donald Trump. The people that were upset that he didn't pay any taxes. Now, we get it. We know when people run for public office, you want to feel the sense of that they're going through the same stuff as you.
Right.
Now, we know that's not a fact. They're not going through the same stuff as you. But he was largely criticized based on the assumed amount of taxes he paid, because we don't know it as a fact.
Know, right? But he don't know. He kind of let it out that he took the deduction of the $1 billion, almost $1 billion loss.
Right. So based on the system that he took advantage of, that we are all daily trying to take advantage of,
right.
He did it. He did a really good job of taking advantage of it. Yeah. People are mad at him. Now, we are attempting every day to find ways to get around it. He found a way to get around it, and we're mad at him the same way we're mad at Hillary Clinton for figuring out how to exist in this corrupt political system that we have. She's mastered it.
Right, and he's mastered the tax code. Like he said, no one knows the tax code. I mean, he's got an army of people help him out of the tax code because that's his system. That's how he knows how. Right, so this is exactly right. So now what we have is, like, say Donald Trump is like hockey, NHL, right? Because they fight. They're allowed to fight in hockey. Just throw elbows, everything, man. Knock teeth out, right? And like Hillary's playing like baseball. Because it's all inside baseball stuff, right? You follow me with this? So now you got the hockey player trying to play. He's bringing all of his goalie mask and his skates onto the baseball diamond and can't figure out why it ain't working. This is the easiest. They should have hired you and me, whatever candidate, should have hired us as consultants, because we could have helped you figure it out from day one, man.
Yeah, you're right. I love the hockey analogy because he's in there fighting and throwing stuff. And
and dude, you got your skates on. And he's like, "Hey, man, it's third. It's almost third period." And you're like, "No, man, it's like the 7th inning. Like you're not even playing the same game, dude."
Yeah, but that's what we do. We get mad at people for their knowledge of the system. Again, no matter who wins this election, I have a plan for A.
Yep.
And I have a plan for B.
Right, and we have a business plan for A, and we have a business plan for B.
And the election did not. It happens every 4 years. It didn't shock us.
No, it didn't sneak up on us.
We've been knowing we've been knowing the candidates since the primaries were over, way back when, months ago.
Yeah.
So we know what the options are. We know what their ideologies are, what their plans are. We can go to their websites, check out their plans, their ideas, and we can listen to their speak.
If you want to.
The different debates.
If you want to.
If
in
you
fact,
want to.
I know right now, we welcome in all the listeners that are tired of watching the WWE debates over on the TV right now, because, and welcome.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you're so right, man. We get mad about this and we get mad about that, and it's not fair, and I'll taking my ball and going home. No, man, that's not. This is the elite warrior. We look at the system. We figure out, how can I benefit in this system? How can it be used to my advantage? And I'm not trying to make it fair. So people are like, well, that's just not right. Okay, I get it, but the earth is not flat either. No matter how much you think that the earth being flat would be better, it's not. It's round. So you're going to have to operate in that universe where fairness doesn't exist, guys. It just doesn't. So instead of fighting that, how can you use it to your advantage? Game the system. I'm not telling you do anything illegal. I'm not saying do anything criminal. I'm saying inside the rules of whatever system, and it does slant one way or another, because every human being is involved in a system and every human being has bias. Figure out how you can use it to your advantage.
And it's completely possible. And we got a couple minutes left in this segment, but afterwards, after the break, we can give you more examples in life, whether it's Little League, whether it's sports, with tangible examples of how to operate within it.
Absolutely.
Because just everyone has, in some way, shape, or form in their life, has dealt with systems. And again, systems are not fair. Even computer systems. You can the chess game, you can put it on easy, you can put it on moderate, you can put it on difficult, you can put it on expert. So even you can slant those systems, because they're all programmed, they're all man-made.
Right.
All systems are going to have some sort of bias, because the programmer has bias, and you can program biases into it if you like. So going into anything outside of a shock, unknown, unpredictable event, you can plan within and make yourself a winner.
And that's absolutely right. All right, so are we up on the break, Dutch?
Yep.
Okay, so when we get back, we'll jump into some more discussion about this. You're listening to the Get Warrior Tough radio show with Dutch and Andrew. We'll be right back.